Good morning, good morning. Today we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin, the XRP dominance, XRP, and the Sigma coin. So we are currently watching as this price action slowly, very controlled versus a very impulsive price action, very controlled breakdown of Bitcoin here. So now we do have this five-way move to the upside that we could potentially count this as here with a lot of overlaying chop, okay? Now, what's intriguing is if we lose this level, which right here is 111,917, as long as we maintain this level right here, we should be good with holding everything. Otherwise, if Bitcoin loses itself here, we go into this larger ABC corrective pattern where we end up having this potential play out here of a larger degree wave 2 that takes us into the next month of October, right? So this is where everything is kind of at right now, where we're watching this occur. So then we jump over to XRP, and when we look at the price action, basically it's the exact same walk back, because XRP and Bitcoin have been very, very tied. So you have the same exact kind of chop breakdown that we've had here. And right now we're sitting at an area where you would expect the support resistance to be played out here on this VWAP, and this is going back this direction. So we have these VWAPs, and these are helpful because right now you can see that on the 1 hour we have a VWAP that's coming right up into the measured move of the wave 1, and we also have it near the 618 for a little bit of a front running for an idea of ultimately this thing breaking down, up, and then down one more time, pushing us somewhere into the end of the month or possibly even sooner for us to just get a quick smackdown into this region and be all done with this breakdown. And we have news occurring in the next 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, and that news is going to ultimately play out here. So now this VWAP, so what is this, right? So this is a variable weighted asset price, and this variable weighted asset price you can take and you can put it anywhere, okay? And the tool that you're going to find is right over here under volume-based analytics. So where we were doing the fixed range volume profile, where we were running that kind of stuff and seeing what we had going in, it's the same concept, but what it's doing is it's giving you the deviations that you need from a location, and then it tells you where the majority of the volume is, okay? So the way to understand this tool is when we do select it, you're going to be looking at the white line that I've placed here. I changed my own colors, so feel free to put them to whatever you want. But the white line is ultimately going to be where most of the people's volume is. The purple lines on either side is one deviation away from that line, which is a 64% move away. The blue line is actually 95% of the way away from the white line. And finally, this, I made a slight pink color. This is actually going to be 99% away from the white line. So the further away you get from the white line, you see how you come back to the white lines, shoot back the other direction, come back to the white line, and so on and so forth. So the settings for this, you could take it and you could just drag it and put it anywhere. So I put it right at the high here before we had this kind of big range built. And then if you go to your settings, you can add all of your upper and lower bands and change the colors to however you want. But that's really pretty much all you have to do. Just turn on your inputs and your styles right here to just kind of run all those. So anyway, so yeah, so there you go. So that is where you can see that these deviations have been fairly reactive. And now my suspicion is we're just moving from the top of the range back towards the fair market value and the measured move of the fib, and this roughly middle area between the half and the 618 for a quick smackdown back test of the volume supply, and then we can now build that as support, and away we go. So that's what we're kind of waiting for, and that's where our short, where we built up in this region, is now playing out down here as we've chopped every day, every other day down. So we're finding either support or resistance right now at this +1 deviation. So currently we're 64% away from down here in the volume. So we just need to see how that's going to end up playing. So but that's, as you can see, a very reactive area where we were stuck underneath it, broke above it, came back, and we're now stuck underneath it again. So with the news coming in 20 minutes, we may in fact use that as a catalyst to roll this over. Bitcoin again is what we're looking at here, and then some intriguing things on the dominance. So when we go to Bitcoin dominance, I thought this was kind of interesting here on the 1 hour. We have a bear flag forming, so we actually may have a lower rollover here soon where the dominance ends up taking another plunge off of this bear flag. And so if this ends up being that it isn't able to hold this low right here, and we get that, we're going to definitely see that breakdown, because I don't see anything impulsive off of this at all. Maybe this is starting. I could maybe justify that. Yeah, there you go. There's maybe wave 1, wave 2. So we'll see if this ends up breaking out, but right now it doesn't look the most impulsive price action that I would expect. And the XRP dominance has also been walking down. And if we can get this down to here, and we can also get our XRP price action down to the lower level down here, then all of that would allow us to, by hopefully the weekend, maybe even tomorrow, be wrapping up the majority of what we need for our move to the downside. One more breakdown, and with XRP it goes quick. We'll do something like that. So I'm hoping that we can just be done with all this chop. Just kind of break down, one more time, break down, and we just do that, and this becomes like a smaller thing like that. So we could just be finished, don't have to worry about it anymore. We all long, and then we can actually draw ourselves a nice little arrow and be doing this. So let's do that. So anyway, so that's what we're watching here at this moment in time. And then we jump over to the Sigma coin, still holding up fairly well, considering we've just got a 12-hour momentum on the Stoch and the RSI starting to turn back up again. We've just kind of curved. We've been curving right here at this little area here. So I think we're getting close. You know, people ask, where's the bottom? When does it end? Blah, blah, blah. You know, the best I could show you at this point is that this kind of breakdown is normal, natural, occurring on many, many different charts. And you can see that even on Cardano, we had that same kind of breakdown, kind of like a pullback. So we're probably, you know, we could be here, maybe even higher. If XRP does do that plunge to get us finished, then we're good to go. Now, in validation, one more quick update on this is right here. So if we go above 2.9989, which is the low on this level, which we did not do right here, if that is breached, then we know that this has become a bullish structure, and then we wait for a back test to kind of re-long. But as of right now, this has not been lost, and so therefore we're anticipating that we'll continue our count to the downside. So all right, so hopefully that was helpful, and we'll check in tomorrow.